From the mysteries of the deep to the power of human innovation, the future of our oceans is in our hands. Together, we can protect the oceans that sustain us all. Join me on a journey of discovery, innovation, and change. Let's create a future where our oceans are safe, healthy, and harmonious. This is Harmonious Oceans. Hey everyone, welcome back to Harmonious Oceans, where we dive into the challenges and solutions for protecting our blue planet. Today we're going to be talking about the 8th letter O, ousting debris from Oceanic Flow. This is a critical issue that's affecting marine life and ecosystems worldwide. So, let's jump right in. Marine debris, the term used for trash and other waste that ends up in our oceans, isn't just an environmental nuisance, it's a major crisis. Every year, millions of tons of plastic, metal, glass, and other debris enter our oceans. Much of it originates from land-based sources carried into the seas by rivers, storms, and even through careless disposal. So, why is this a big deal? Marine debris has far-reaching impacts. Threat to marine life. Sea turtles mistake plastic bags for jellyfish. Seabirds feed plastic to their chicks, and fish get entangled in derelict fishing gear. The result? Injuries, deaths, and disruption to marine food chains. Habitat destruction. Abandoned fishing gear and large objects like fishing containers can damage vital marine habitats such as coral reefs and seagrass meadows. These habitats are crucial for many marine species, providing shelter, food, and breeding grounds. The economic impact. Marine debris affects industries too. Tourism, fishing, and shipping are all hit hard by pollution. Cleanups and damage control cost millions of dollars each year. Human health risks. Plastic pollution is particularly nasty. The ones that probably come to mind are plastic bottles and wrappers. But plastic actually breaks down into microplastic, tiny bits that float around and get ingested by marine animals. These microplastics move up the food chain and eventually land on our plates. Studies are still ongoing, but potential health risks for humans are a serious concern. Let's break down where all this debris is coming from. Single-use plastics such as bags, bottles, and straws are major culprits. They're lightweight, float easily, and can travel long distances before breaking down into microplastics. Fishing gear. Lost or abandoned fishing nets, lines, and traps, often referred to as ghost gear, continue to trap marine life even when they're not longer in use. Ghost gear alone constitutes about 10% of the ocean's plastic waste. Shipwrecks and containers. Ships that sink or lose containers can leave behind a trail of debris. These wrecks can also leach chemicals into the ocean, further polluting the water. Much of the debris entering the ocean comes from rivers and storm drains, carrying everything from household trash to industrial waste. But don't worry, there's a lot you can do to help tackle this issue. Here's how you can be part of the solution. I'm sure you've heard it before, but reduce, reuse, recycle. Simple changes in your daily life can make a big difference. Reduce your use of single-use plastics, opt for reusable products, and make sure you recycle properly. Upcycling projects for school. Initiate upcycling projects at school where waste materials can be transformed into something useful or beautiful, like turning old plastic bottles into planters or using discarded fishing nets to make bags. Raise funds for ocean cleanup tech. Organize crowdfunding campaigns or school events to raise money for innovative ocean cleanup technologies like the ocean cleanup or the Great Bubble Barrier. Youth-led efforts can be a great way to support larger initiatives. Now, let's hear from Professor Sunil Shastri, who is a consultant, educator, and speaker in ocean and environmental governance. He has been a university academic, researcher in ocean environmental policy, and in mining and ocean engineering. He has served on several professional and public bodies as director, governor, or trustee, and is a Rotary Paul Harris Fellow.
You've been working deeply in the area of environmental governance. Can you please share more about it? What are the challenges and how we can protect our oceans?
Sid, first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity. But more importantly, I'm excited to do this stuff because you are a young person, and it's obviously my intention to start with people as young as they can. I have a great kind of ocean literacy program with an international organization of which I'm the country director. And I find it very enthusing to me because obviously throughout my career, I have worked with university students, and you're about to get to that age. And I'm delighted that somebody as young as you has taken upon herself doing this kind of project. So I congratulate you for that. Now we go to your question, and you're talking about, for example, I've been doing this stuff, and what are the challenges? I think the challenges come from our own doing, really. Because if you think about it, and you studied science and you studied related subjects, and you know that whatever we do as mankind, it's nothing is good to us, nothing in the nature is good to us unless we cut it or we dig it or we kill it.
Yeah.
So if there's a tree, we want to cut it. If there's some land, we want to dig it and get some mineral out of it. If there's an animal, we want to kill it. So cut, dig, and kill defines humanity. But then we went one step further because we are the intelligent creature. We are the clever people. So we added burn to it. So once we added burn to it, we have taken it to a level of addiction. We are addicted to burning. We are addicted to burning fossil fuel. So what have we done? The problem, again, to define that problem precisely now again, our lands have become unproductive due to disruption of nitrogen cycle. I've just mentioned that. Our air has become unbreathable because of this excessive, gases, greenhouse gases, etc., into the atmosphere. And our water has become undrinkable because of the excessive pollution that we have introduced into our aquatic and marine systems. So as a result, and I look at these as the acronym or the starting words of land, air, and water, LAW, law. We become a lawless society. So that is where the problem is, and that is where I think those are basically our challenges in protecting the ocean, in protecting our environment, and preserving our ocean and our marine environment.
And ocean cleanup is one of the ways that we clean the ocean. Do you think this is a workable solution, or are there other better ways that we can clean our ocean?
I think there are two ways of looking at this. There are two ways of looking at it. How can we stop doing what we are doing? And that's one way of cleaning up the ocean. The other one is how can we reduce what we are doing, or maybe try to eliminate as much as possible in what we are doing, and try to then take away the pollution that we have created. For me, the greatest or the biggest solution is something that is staring in our eyes, is staring in our face, as it were. And that is trees. Trees are our greatest solution to climate change, to these parts per million of carbon dioxide, to cleaning of water, to running off of soils, everything, soil conservation, water conservation, air cleaning, air purification, all of that. So trees is the greatest solution. And in the marine environment, if you go further, sort of coastal, near, a little bit deeper and somewhat little bit more deep, there are three similar systems: mangroves, seagrass, and corals. So according to me, trees, mangroves, seagrass, and corals are our multiple insurance against climate change. So that is one way of cleaning up the ocean. So we need to plant trillions of new trees in order that you can create a cleaner environment, cleaner water, and cleaner soil. Now, on a bigger scale, what you could do is you could have conventions, you could have international conventions that stop this damage that we are doing to the ocean, to the marine environment. And three conventions readily come to my mind. There are many, many more, but three conventions come readily to my mind. The first one is called the Basel Convention, and it is about the transboundary movement and disposal of waste. So all sorts of waste is taken from one place to the other because it's cheaper to do so, or cheaper to get rid of somewhere else. You take sort of electronic waste, for example, from developed countries and take it to China or to India.
Yeah.
You take your ships that have gone past their lives and you want to go for ship breaking and you take them to India or to Bangladesh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, transboundary movement and disposal of waste of different kinds, including hazardous waste. So that's a convention that deals with it. There's also Rotterdam Convention in 1998, and that deals with prior informed consent. So if you're taking the waste from X to Y, if you're taking nuclear waste or municipal waste or any waste from one place to the other, does the other country where you're taking the waste to know what the hell you're sending them to?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, you're sending to them. Okay, so there's this convention on the prior informed consent, and then there's a third one, which again addresses the greenhouse gases going into the atmosphere, and that's called the Stockholm Convention of 2001, and it is about the persistent organic pollutants, what we call as POPs. Persistent organic pollutants, how to reduce these persistent organic pollutants, which take away from the ozone layer and so on, which then allow more, infrared rays to come into the earth and heat the earth even more and create more global warming. And finally, again, like I said, I'm just doing a little bit of a skim through stuff. But for the last couple of years, 2-3 years, from 2021 to 2030, there is going to be what is known as the United Nations Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development. Okay, and that has started in 2021, and the slogan for that is the science we need for the ocean we want, because our knowledge about the ocean is woefully inadequate. Only about 5 to 10%, 5 to 7% of the ocean has been mapped. Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't know much about the ocean. So we need to learn a lot more about the ocean so that we can find more solutions about the ocean. So those are the sort of alternative ways we can do stuff. But the most important thing we have to remember is we have to do less of what we do. That's the key issue. Yeah.
So what kind of policy changes or green technologies do you think are needed at a global scale to make the oceans clean?
Now, some of these things are relatively simple. Simple in the sense, yes, but we need collective public will, we need political will, and we need the will of the industrialists. So we need all three of them. Okay, so I'll give you just 5 kind of examples. The first one, the foremost one, which is going to change our lives, for the simple reason is that we cannot do without refrigeration and air conditioning. Okay, because we need to save food. I'll come back to that a little bit later.
Yeah.
We need to produce food, and we need to protect food, and we need to make it last longer. Otherwise, it gets ruined very quickly. Oxygen is a killer, as you know. Oxygen makes us survive, but oxygen also slowly kills us. So everything gets rotten because of oxygen. So anyway, so we have to have refrigeration and air conditioning. Many parts of the world, as you probably know, are facing extreme temperatures, very high temperatures. And when these high temperatures are there, you have to have air conditioning, otherwise people will not survive. So air conditioning and refrigeration are 2 of our necessary evils, as it were, because they are also causing global warming.
Yes.
Yeah? So, but we have to manage the refrigeration chemicals in such a way that we are creating least damage to the ozone layer, etc. So again, finding refrigeration chemicals that are optimum for our use as well as for the protection and preservation of the nature is very important.
Yeah.
We have to have ways of finding more ways of creating energy that is environmentally friendly. So renewable energy, everybody talks about. Everybody also talks about wind turbines, large wind turbines, which you would have probably seen wherever you travel in England. But the idea is not to have, increasingly what's happening is the trend is towards having offshore turbines. But the wisdom is to have more onshore wind turbines. The reason for that is the offshore wind turbines are out of sight, out of mind. You're not finding the damage that they are doing without your knowledge. Whereas when things are on land in front of you, you can actually check, you can periodically check what the hell is happening to the land there, what's happening to the animals there, to the birds there, etc.
Yeah.
Okay. So installing offshore wind turbines would be a second important technical solution. But the third one is a no-brainer. In fact, even the fourth one. And this is something you and I can do. And this is cutting down on food waste. You'll be surprised to know that an average UK family throws away almost half the food that they buy from the supermarket.
Wow.
Okay? An average British family throws away almost half the food for whatever reason. Because you bought too much, because the food got bad, because you thought you would eat them but didn't eat it, and so on. Okay? So there are a whole range of reasons for which you throw away food. And this is from supermarket to your home, mind you. Okay? So
Yeah.
from the supermarket to your bin. But imagine what's happening from the farm to your fork at home. How much waste? Because you want to have straight, bananas. You want to have straight carrots. You want to have shiny tomatoes and apples. So anything that is not shiny, anything that is not straight, anything that doesn't look good gets thrown away at that production stage.
Yeah.
Perfectly tasty, healthy food.
Yeah.
But just getting thrown away because it doesn't look good. So cut down on food waste. So that's the third one. And that's a complete no-brainer that all of us can do. We have to just create. So you said what young people can do or individuals can do. I think this is what they can do. They can go to supermarkets and tell people that, don't throw away stuff just because it, best by date has gone. Best by date has really no meaning, technically.
Yeah.
There are so many things you can eat much later after the best by date. But it's the way of supermarkets that you come and buy more stuff, spend more money. Then moving to plant-based diet, that can change. I mean, that can make huge amounts. So you can just quickly just Google something. How much does a kilo of beef cost to produce, for example, and how much does the equivalent amount of lentil cost to produce? In terms of water, in terms of just water. I'm not talking about fertilizers, pesticides, chemicals, water, energy, etc. I'm only talking about water. Okay, and you will find this tremendous, shocking numbers that'll come to you. So moving to plant-based diet would be the other thing. And the fifth one, according to my mind, is restoring tropical rainforests. So we have to find ways of encouraging those people who are doing it, contribute to their effort. Suppose you're a school-going child, why can't you contribute some of your pocket money to such projects, and so on. So those are the five, what I would call as not even high technology solutions. These are simple, no-brainer solutions, which some of them we can do ourselves. And finally, I want to say something somewhat controversial, which you may wish to think about also, that people are scared about nuclear technology, but it is the safest technology, despite of what you hear. I won't tell you more about that, but you can read about it. But nuclear, I think, and many people think, that nuclear is our golden bridge between our fossil past and our renewable future. Our fossil past has got to stop. Our renewable future has to come. But this is the golden bridge that will take us from there to there. And for that transition, we need nuclear because it is a known, safe, high energy producing system that we are familiar with and we know completely. And it's highly regulated, most importantly, because it's a dangerous industry. It is a highly regulated industry.
Professor Shastri sure put many things into perspective. How we can really make a difference starting today. Talking about making a difference, now let's shine some light on some exciting advancements in tackling marine debris. The Ocean Cleanup Project. This initiative is deploying large floating barriers in oceanic gyres to collect and remove plastic waste. Their systems are designed to concentrate debris for easier removal, with a goal of cleaning up half the Great Pacific Garbage Patch within 5 years. Great Bubble Barrier. This innovative solution uses a curtain of bubbles to direct plastic waste towards catchment area in waterways. It's an efficient and environmentally friendly way to capture debris before it reaches the ocean. Waste to energy technologies. Some companies are turning ocean waste into valuable resources. For example, anaerobic digestion processes organic waste into biogas, which can then be used as renewable energy. So, what's the takeaway? Marine debris is a serious problem, but with collective action and innovation, we can make a significant difference. Thanks for tuning in to Harmonious Oceans. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Let's continue working together to make our oceans cleaner and more harmonious.